Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, brought to you by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. And as you know, we've got a new guest on the show for you every week. Dr. Elizabeth Barrett is with us today. She is from Chi Whiz, that's spelled with a Q, in Laurie. Her practice is in Laurie, Eastern Medicine. And it's so fascinating. Westerners have been fascinated with Eastern medicine for, several decades now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Acupuncture, teacups, all these different things, not to mention the martial arts that kind of go with that a little bit. So you're a doctor in Eastern medicine. You've got a Master of Science in Oriental Medicine. You've got a Master of Science in Cellular and Molecular Biology. You've got a Bachelor of Science in Public Health, Bachelor of Science in Biology, Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy. So you've kind of covered the whole gamut, Eastern, Western, everything there.
Yep, lots of school.
Right. So does that, I'm guessing you did that so that you could practice maybe not just from an Eastern medicine standpoint, but throw in some Western medicine ideas as well in that? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I feel like an understanding of the body is valuable no matter what when you're in medicine. And understanding the body, it's, understanding some of the physical and the chemical, but it's also understanding some of the mental and emotional processes and the person as a whole.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of the Eastern medicine philosophy, which I like about it, that it's trying to look at the person as a whole and realize that you can't really separate things out so much.
Yeah.
But that you can treat one aspect and help everything else.
Okay, interesting. And you first got interested in this as a kid. You had some health issues, I believe scoliosis.
Yes.
As a kid, and you found that martial arts helped that.
It did, yes. It gave me kind of strength and balance on both sides, and it helped me with my breathing and focus. Got me into meditation, which has been a very valuable thing for my health also, and introduced me to people who knew something about Eastern medicine. So
interesting. Okay, so it's fascinating that, and when a lot of people think of martial arts, they think about the fighting and stuff like that. When there's so much more to it than that, do they call it the kata, where you're kind of doing the routine?
Kata is one term for it.
Okay, and you're not getting hit though, but you are getting that physical workout.
Right.
Okay, and you teach that now. You're a black belt, and you have classes where you teach that. You teach self-defense and a whole lot of things.
Yes, I teach self-defense classes, and I teach some moving meditation classes too. So that's the Tai Chi and the Qigong, and they're both basically breathing and slow moving and more health-centered. Okay. So martial arts is self-defense in many ways, and you learn a lot of, the focus is, on some levels, is to defend against attack. But if you stay with it, in order to stay with it, it's got to be more than that. Because, if you're fighting, there's only so long that you're going to be a big fighter. Right, yeah. So what traditional martial arts does is it shows you that you come in for one thing, but it shows you so many other facets. And one of them, the physical exercise part of it is beneficial. The breathing part of it is a big benefit. Yeah. Learning to breathe deeply and to breathe properly, and to breathe with your movement. Another big benefit of it is focus. Helps people's focus a lot of times. Helps your discipline. And it's a practice that if you learn to do it in a way that coordinates with your body, will ultimately give you longevity and the ability to continue to do things in your older years that you want to do.
Okay. So a lot of benefits. Yeah, a lot of benefits to martial arts that have nothing to do with fighting, but just more in the health sense. So there's kind of a tie there with the Eastern medicine.
Yeah, the fighting part's fun, but that's not the only one.
Right. So, and you actually spent some time in China.
I did.
Studying both the Eastern medicine and the martial arts.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I lived in China for 2 years, from 2005 to 2007. I was teaching English at a university there as a way to be there, and I was there mostly to pursue more knowledge in those areas. I had met a visiting professor in college. I'd been doing a thesis about qi and whether it was something you could study scientifically and so on. And in the interview process, I met a guy named Dr. Ning, who was a visiting professor from China, and he taught me quite a bit of Qigong, and he said the condition for doing that was I had to practice every day and I had to go to China someday.
Wow.
And I thought, well, gee, I should do something I enjoy and go somewhere I always wanted to go. Okay, I could do that.
Right.
So when I got done with my undergraduate, he helped me coordinate with the school. And I went over to teach English, and that gave me a way to be there and meet people and seek out knowledge.
Right.
So I found a Tai Chi master that I studied with. I found several people that taught me Qigong. I found a doctor of Chinese medicine who had learned in a very traditional way. He had apprenticed to a guy for 15 years, and then he had been in practice after that. And got to observe and learn from him, and really got a lot out of that.
Wow.
Really saw the breadth, or the wide depth of what Eastern medicine and Chinese medicine could do for people.
Right.
And I just saw transformations. It was amazing.
Interesting. And bringing that all back to the States is fascinating. Okay, so we're going to talk more about that, her time in China, and more about martial arts and Eastern medicine when we come back on Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission. If it's happening at the lake, it's happening on Lake TV. From the polar plunge to festivals, parades, aquapalooza, and boat shows, Lake TV has it all. Even the granddaddy of them all, the shootouts. If you're looking for places to party, things to do, or even a new home to move into, you've gotta love Lake TV. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, brought to you by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center. So you spent a couple years over in China, learning both martial arts and Eastern medicine. Most Americans will never spend time in China. We hear so much about China. It's probably the same as just about anywhere else. The people are probably great. Government is government, right? I mean, that had to be a fascinating, after growing up in free America, to be over in China. What was that like?
That's a big question.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there were a lot of very nice people that I met, and there were a certain amount of cultural differences that led to some clashes, but also made it interesting. You know, I'd say that as far as me moving around doing things, for the most part, it was fine. It was just if you ran into the wrong person or the wrong thing, then you could have a problem.
Yeah.
And I do know that the school was definitely monitoring me. They were listening to my conversations for sure.
Yeah.
But you know, people there, they know that's going on, and they find ways to get around it so that they can have whatever freedom they can have.
Interesting.
You know?
But you saw a big difference between freedom in America and communism in China. I mean, they are monitoring almost everything, right?
Oh yeah,
Over
they're a very heavily monitored society.
Yeah.
The internet's heavily controlled. Everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Every time I go there, I have to get a different VPN because they're constantly trying to block the VPN, so you can't get out to other internet sites.
Interesting.
Facebook
Wow.
used to be available when I was there, and now it's not. It's blocked there.
Interesting. Okay.
So-
So you've been back since the 2 years.
Yeah, I've been back about 5 or 6 times for educational visits. I've met other doctors I wanted to study with also, and
Yeah.
had opportunities to go visit people. I mean, a lot of those people, they really went out of their way to help me and take care of me, and became like family to
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Okay. So we've got just a few minutes left, but I wanted to get into some of the other forms of Eastern medicine. Everybody knows about acupuncture.
Yeah.
And that's, in a very layman's term, just trying to keep the chi energy flowing and being healthy. People call the teacup thing, what is that?
Cupping is the standard term for it. That's where you're putting a cup on the skin, and it's got a vacuum, so it sucks the skin up. And that helps with blood flow in certain areas, so it's good for injuries, it's good for recovery from a workout, it's good for also for your immune system. Actually, certain spots you can enhance the immune system, help somebody get over a cold quicker, for example.
Interesting, okay. And what are some of the other things? I know that there's like little candles or something like that.
The
that you do?
Moxibustion is another one, and that's a different way of stimulating an acupuncture point. So you'd use heat that's generated by burning an herb over the point.
Okay.
And you wouldn't burn the skin with it, you're just creating heat, and that causes a little different reaction in the body.
Okay, so there's all these different kind of things. And what does this help with? I mean, does it help with things like allergies at the lake, or if people have a bad back, or things like that? Can Eastern medicine help that?
Oh yeah, most common thing people come for is pain, and especially back pain, but that's not the only thing it can help with. So pain, it helps with quite a bit, a wide variety of pains. Also helps with, like you said, allergies. I've done a lot with allergies and had good success with it. Helps with anxiety, with depression, helps with gut problems, variety of different gut problems, reflux, constipation, diarrhea, all of the above.
Right.
Helps with circulation. It can help with to a certain amount with your cardiovascular system, with your heart. Help with breathing problems,
Just a whole
it's a
lot of
pretty,
things.
yeah, there's a lot of things it can help with.
Okay.
I've had people come with shingles pain that was residual, been able to help with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of versatility in Eastern medicine.
Absolutely. Okay, 2 minutes to go. You also teach self-defense classes and martial arts. When do you teach those, and do you take new students?
Yes, I take new students, and I'm teaching those classes. I've taught the self-defense classes in kind of short bursts in the past, where I'll do a 4 or 6 week class. But now I'm doing a regular class. So the self-defense martial arts class is on Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m. It's at Warrior Fitness in Lori. And my other class, which is also at Warrior Fitness, is a Tai Chi and Qigong class. So that's more of moving meditation. And that one is 8 to 9 a.m. Mondays and Fridays.
Okay.
And I am planning to do some introductory classes for the martial arts class. Probably going to start that next weekend. Actually, that's October 23rd, but this show is probably going to air after that.
Yeah.
But I will be having some probably on a monthly basis that'll be on a Saturday or Sunday that will introduce people to what Tong Sudo is. Because unless you remember Chuck Norris back in the old days, you don't
absolutely.
know what Tong Sudo is.
That was Chuck Norris's
That was his
martial art, huh?
original martial art. He's now a Taekwondo, but he started as Tong Sudo, and he trained under some of the same people that the founder of the organization I'm in trained under.
Okay. So if folks want to get more information on any and all of this, whether it's the Eastern medicine or the martial arts, where do they find that information?
You can find information about my business and about martial arts on my Facebook page, which has just my name right now, Elizabeth Barrett, LAC. But you can also find it on my website, www.qi-wiz.com, chiwiz.com. You can find some information also on the Heal Center website. That's the nonprofit I have, Healing Eastern Arts for Life, HEAL-CENTER.org. And you can call me. I'm willing to answer calls.
There you go.
573-317-6829.
Okay, there she is. Dr. Elizabeth Barrett, Chi Whiz in Lori. Thank you for joining us for the Lake TV Community Spotlight Show.